for you. Yeah, so without any further ado, I mean, the important thing is the chairman can give his address today, and then once his address is finished, we'll go through to some of the more formal bits of the meeting, and then Dave will close. So I'll hand over to Dave now.
Okay, thanks, Phil. Welcome everybody to the APL's first and hopefully last virtual annual general meeting. I suppose fair play to Jim and the LJ's team for putting all this together, and our thanks go to them for giving us this this meeting room to work from. Although we've all got rather used to the digital world, I for one can't wait to get back to meeting people face to face, shaking hands and doing business the old way. I know 2020 has taught us the value of utilising technology, but it's also highlighted just how important our physical interactions are. And in an association that has community at its very heart like us, I think this is all the more important. And I've sorely missed catching up with the APL friends, going to cluster meetings and committee meetings. Anyway, a quick note about APL finances. Usually we release these at the AGM, but given that this isn't a secure platform, what we're going to do instead is release them via email at the end of the year instead. Okay, so what have we managed to achieve in this, the most challenging of years? I think firstly and most importantly, we've managed to steer our members through an extraordinary period of history where for some businesses and sanity were genuinely on the line. When all this kicked off in March, we held an emergency committee meeting, and I recall Phil desperately trying to get a handle on how to help our members. It was clear that information was the key requirement, and Phil did a fantastic job of taking the vast amount of information coming from the government, the HTA, the citation, stripping out anything that wasn't relevant to us, and then delivering it in a way that was easy to digest and implement. I know that all of the members were reassured and grateful for this and felt that the APL truly had got their backs. And it's been a recurring theme that members feel the APL has supported them to the hilt during this crisis, which is brilliant. Once the information supply chain had been established, attention then turned to our community. Each year we hold over 100 cluster meetings across the UK, where our members can get together, discuss the industry and just shoot the breeze with fellow landscapers. Given the circumstances, we needed to replicate that, but using a virtual platform. And as we know, Phil quickly mastered the art of Zoom meetings, and the APL virtual clusters have now become a popular weekly event in the calendar. As always, it's a joy to see members interacting, sharing advice, supporting each other, and an unexpected upside of this has been getting to know landscapers and designers who don't operate in our immediate areas. As we know, APL founder and staunch supporter Alan Sargent has also been a very prominent figure in Zoom meetings, imparting a lifetime of wisdom, advice and caution to our members, and we're extremely grateful to him for his continuing support. It's clear that he cares very deeply about this industry, and his knowledge base is absolutely unique, so we're very lucky to have him involved. Now you think that membership numbers might reduce during a year like this, but the opposite has happened. Inquiries are up, applications are up, and the APL has implemented a new and successful virtual assessment procedure that allows us to continue vetting new members rigorously without having to meet them in person. Now, with the concerns about sustainability and reducing our carbon footprint, we see this as a new way of operating as a vital tool in meeting our corporate responsibility, as well as saving our members time. So once the pandemic is behind us, we will still carry out new member assessments in person because we feel this is really important. But for existing members, the good news is that there will definitely be more virtual inspections. So to date, membership stands at 320 fully accredited, which is more than at any other time in the APL's history. It's an increase of 7% on last year. Now this year, we also launched 2 new categories for designers and professional gardeners. The designer category has been proficiently headed up by Bo, helped by Holly and Paul, and now stands at 30 members. Now this is already becoming a thriving community and holds monthly Zoom clusters. I've attended several, and I'm really impressed at the level of professionalism and enthusiasm on display. This has also meant that we now get more designers on the landscapers clusters, and each group is clearly benefiting from the interaction. As you know, the APL has for many years held the ambition for its members of closer collaboration and understanding with garden designers, and it's fantastic to see this unfolding. Now, this year, all the shows were cancelled, obviously, which was really disappointing. Many members had already put a lot of work into planning their gardens. The good news is that both Hampton Court and BBC Garden Tour Live are set to go ahead in 2021, with close collaboration between many APL members. At Hampton Court, we'll be supporting designer Mike Long in the implementation of his garden. And at BBC Gardens World Live, famous APL Avenue will be back bigger and better than ever. Our What Lies Beneath garden, designed by the legendary David Stevens, will again educate the public about the unseen and unappreciated amount of subterranean work that goes into building a garden. BBC Gardens World Live, APL Avenue is of course exclusive to our APL members, and gives them the opportunity to cut their teeth on the show garden circuit while receiving, frankly, a decent chunk of funding. And it's a great experience. So if you're interested in 2022, anybody, please do get in touch. 2021 also sees the return of World Skills UK, which the APL has supported and been deeply involved with now for several years. The regional heats will hopefully begin again in April 2021, with the finalists creating a garden each within the great halls of the NEC. As always, this event will culminate in a grand award ceremony attended by over 1,000 people. And I attended it last year. It was absolutely incredible. For young landscapers, this is a fabulous opportunity to show their quality and to experience what it's like to compete. The APL is proud to support and encourage this, and we know that the results will filter down into the industry. Now, talking about training and education this year, well, we've seen a positive explosion of initiatives within the APL family. As well as Mark and Holly's fabulous Landscape Academy, we've also partnered with Rupert Keys, Kiva and Froggy, who will also be offering training facilities and a huge range of courses for our industry across a really wide geographical area. This gives nationwide access to high quality training. And we're looking forward to supporting these ventures going forward. Off the tools, the APL once again ran its business development course, but this time clearly virtually. Designed and overseen by the legend that is Ken White. Thought you'd like that, Ken. This course aims to dig deep into the nitty-gritty of establishing direction for your business and a working plan for moving forward. Again, it was incredibly well received, and it's now the cornerstone for future APL business courses. One area that Ken highlighted needing particular attention was business finance. So we are thrilled to be offering a new one-day course called Finance for Non-Finance Directors. The core aim of this is to enable attendees to finally understand their business account, frankly. Now, although this has been designed as a standalone course, it will also be one of the modules of the business development course. I'm really looking forward to rolling this out in spring. Now, for the last 2 years, committee member Dave Strauss has been diligently working on developing a set of installation guidelines for the industry. Initially, we wanted to focus on paving and on decking. The APL has now joined the British Standards Institute and has bought the standards pertaining to these disciplines. Carl Harrison's decking network has very kindly written the decking specs, and these are now ready for release. The paving specifications are being supported by the British Standards Institute ahead of their release, but we've also been fortunate to have geologist Barry Hunt on board to work with the final draft of the paving specs, which will give it real credibility and gravitas, and also make sure that they're fit for purpose. Now, both documents will be free to members and will be placed into the members tool kit on the website. Huge thanks and kudos to Dave Strauss for persevering with this and getting us to the point where we'll be creating documents of genuine value to APL members and indeed the wider landscaping community. TrustSmart. Now, our long-term and exclusive partnership with TrustSmart continues, and this year has seen 2 new initiatives from them that will benefit our members. First, they've launched their Safe Work initiative, which gives members guidelines within which they can operate and to reassure customers that we're operating as safely as possible. And they've also launched an initiative that gives APL members the opportunity to offer finance options to their clients, which is something we've been pressing for some time. Now, for further information on either of these, just pop along to the TrustSmart website, which is trustsmart.org.uk. Now, Last but definitely not least, the APL, along with the rest of the industry, has made a start on the very tricky subject of diversity within our industry. Now, this is a long overdue conversation that was instigated by Raymond and aims to look at why the industry isn't appealing to more Black and ethnic minority groups and whether there are barriers to entry that we're just not seeing. Now, almost certainly due to the Black Lives Matter movement, the entire industry seems to have woken up to this at the same time. And last week, Phil represented the APL at a collaborative meeting between the HTA, SDD, RHS, Landscape Institute and Barley. Now, I stress these are very early days, but in my opinion, there's no doubt that close collaboration within the industry is going to develop far more effective long-term strategy than any of our organisations trying to go it alone. So if we draw on each other's collective experiences, ideas and initiatives, now I'm hopeful that together we can start to make some headway on this. Okay, I'll stop at this point. Are there any questions? There we go. No? I will keep going then. Okay, there's a few changes to committee. First, Hillary's decided to step down. She needs more time to focus on her family and her business. Hillary's been a long-term time exponent of the APL. She's been a great ambassador for us, and she's assured me that she will continue to give her support wherever she can. She's been a terrific committee member. She's a genuinely caring person. She always brings a calm and measured approach to discussions, and I would like to thank her for bringing her expertise and, frankly, her friendship to the APL committee, and I know that we all wish her every good fortune in the future. Now, also, Steve Moody has decided to step down from full committee into a non-executive role. I'd like to thank Steve for his highly valued contribution to committee meetings, and of course, as a non-exec, the APL still gets benefit from his vast experience and enthusiasm for our industry. Okay, at this point, I'm going to hand the proceedings back to Phil to conduct formal proceedings, two lots of proceedings. Phil.
Okay, thank you, Dave. And what a great resume of the APL year and beyond that was. Thank you very much for putting that all together. So we enter into the more formal proceedings now, where we talk about the committee and the committee members. As Dave has already mentioned, Hillary has stepped down, and Steve Moody will be moving on to the non-executive panel. We have a group of non-executives. So they are Steve Moody, Mark Youd, Paul Newman, Roger Gladwell, Noel Brock, James Steele Sargent, and then of course there's Bo Cook, who is looking after the designer sector of the association. Now these don't need any proposing or seconding. It's just mentioned in the minutes now that they have agreed to continue as non-executive members, and we're very grateful for their support and the work that they do within the specialist areas that we want to look at with the committee. We never managed to use the non-executives to their full potential this year with COVID and everything coming on, but we are looking, I know, next year to have a very much more focused approach, and the non-executive members will certainly be called upon to do their bit going forward in 2021. I should say that Dave and Holly have both agreed to stay within their positions as chairman and vice chair. And Dave certainly is, you will be entering your final year as chair today, Dave. So Holly, you need to get watching and get ready to take over at the next committee meeting, at the next annual meeting. So we also have our existing committee members who I've sent out the forms to see whether or not they were willing to remain on committee. And what I would like to propose is that we propose and second those members en masse if we could. So if I read out the names, Paul Baker, Raymond Lawal, Ross Conquest, Andrew Ball, and David Strose. If I could have a proposer, please, for that group of people. So Paul, and a seconder will put their hand up. Holly. Okay. Thank you very much. And then we have 3 new positions available on committee, and I will go through these individually. So the first person that's put their name forward, and we're very pleased that she did, is Sally Penny. Sally has requested that she could join the APL committee, and it's certainly something that I back. But if we could have a proposer, that would be very good. Raymond. And if we could have a seconder for Sally. Paul. Thank you very much, both of you, and thank you very much, Sally, and welcome to the APL committee. Another person that's moving from the non-executive position and coming into the full committee, and this was at the request of the committee, is Craig McGibbon. Craig has filled out his form and everything. So if we could have a proposer for Craig, we'll take Andrew this time. Paul, have you got something wrong with your arm? It just keeps going up. And if we could have a seconder, please. We'll have Holly. Okay. Now Paul's never going to put his hand up again, is he? Okay. Welcome, Craig, and we look forward really to working with you. And I know that you've got some good ideas on sort of the business side of things that you've started to develop with us before, and we look forward to progressing them in 2021. And talking of the business side of things, a welcome return to committee was put forward from Ken White, and it would be really good to get Ken back on the committee again. So if we could have a proposer for Ken, please. Raymond again. And if we could have a seconder for Ken. Andrew. Sorry, Dave, your hand came up second because you're on that little narrow frame. Okay, that concludes the official business for the annual meeting today. I would just like to personally thank all of you for attending today, all of you that are involved in the committee for your continual hard work and support, particularly for me. I think that, you know, my job couldn't be done without your support and your counsel. So that's really excellent, and welcome again to you all. But I will now hand you back to Dave, who will conclude the business for today. Thank you, Dave.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks, Phil. Okay, so that will almost conclude business. Just would like to say that I'm delighted both Ken and Craig agreed to step into those executive roles, and that the APL will continue to benefit from their wide-ranging experience within the industry. And it is a real pleasure to welcome Sally onto the committee. Sally's a well-known and respected figure within this industry, and whenever I've seen her, she's always shown great humour, positivity, a very sound business acumen. And I think her appointment underlines our commitment to serving our membership to the best of our ability. And I know that we're all looking forward to working with her. Can I just say my heartfelt thanks to all committee members. We've all had, and indeed are still experiencing, some huge challenges within our businesses and our lives, and to have a group of people who are as dedicated to serving the APL membership while all this is going on, it's phenomenal. And it is a genuine privilege to be at the same table as you all, so thank you, everybody. And in closing, 2021, it's been a tough year, but it's also brought out the best in many people, none more so than our very own Phil Tremaine, keeping the APL community together, counselling individual members who frankly didn't know where to turn, firing up the Zoom meetings, and working through the ever-changing quicksand of government legislation. Phil, he's quite simply been the guiding light for the APL and a lifeline for its members. So I think huge thank you to you, Phil.
Thank you very much.
So thank you everyone for taking the time to attend the AGM, and I hope everyone stays safe and prosperous for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Well done, Dave, Holly. Excellent, Phil.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.